consistency is more important than optimal conditions. And it's a reason why a lot of people fail to stay consistent with diet and nutrition. It's why people fail to stay consistent with movement and exercise and fitness. It's a reason why I haven't shared anything in this way for a long time now. Internally, the narrative that I've followed is one in which I've created for myself an environment that I would consider optimal for me to be able to speak about things, share it with the world, and being away from that environment for a long period of time is the reason why it hasn't been until now that I have shared something. This pattern of waiting for optimal conditions, waiting for perfection, it's something that we overcome by simply doing things without perfection, in spite of the lack of perfection. It's something where we may even be fully intimately aware of the lack of optimal conditions, and yet we still make that choice to move forward and act anyways. When I grew up, I had a lot of papers to write throughout school. Every paper began with a bad first draft. And when you consider the bad first draft as a prime example of something that isn't optimal, that isn't perfect, this principle, this conflict comes to play here. You want something perfect, you want the optimal conditions, but what stands in the way is getting that first draft out. What stands in the way is doing something that isn't perfect fully. The degree to which waiting for perfection, waiting for optimal conditions to happen, the degree to which waiting for this prevents you from taking the concrete actions, you will end up being in a position where you have nothing. Whereas if you had started to write the bad first draft, you would have had something. You could argue 50% of the work is already done by creating the bad first draft, and the 50%, perhaps the easier 50%, is in the iterating, it's in the refining, it's in the fine-tuning. And so for the same reason, whether it's in making a video and sharing it with people, if it's being consistent with trying to improve your physical health in terms of fitness, in terms of nutrition, if it's trying to write papers, remember that consistency is more important than optimal conditions.